Sudha, working in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. And today we are going to see about social networks. Networks are a fundamental tool for modeling complex social, technological and biological systems. Coupled with the emergence of online social networks and large-scale data availability in social sciences, so you are focusing on the analysis of massive networks which provide many computational, algorithmic and modeling challenges. And when we study these social networks, so we can acquire a lot of knowledge about how social networks are working. And first we are going to see about what is social network. A social network is a social structure which is consisting of actors as well as some relationships. When we consider actors, so we have some individuals, groups as well as organizations. And each and every individual group as well as organization, they have some relationships or interactions between them. Such a structure, you are calling that as a social network. And this social network builds a social relation among people who share interest and activities. Also, it represents for each user people social links for variety of services. And it is completely based on the user's interaction over the internet. Therefore, it allows people to share ideas as well as activities. When you see the social media users in worldwide as well as in India, in the year 2026, one analysis says that in the worldwide 93.71% of people using social media. And when we see in India, 49.86% of people use social media. And another one survey says the average was spent daily on social media platforms. And here you are classifying under different age groups as well as gender. And when you see this analysis, you could find in the age between 16 to 24, maximum you have the spending time in social media, comparing the people between 55 to 64. Also, you could see the female are spending maximum hours in social media platforms. And you need to study the usage statistics of social media, which says the total number of active users in the social media has increased by 5.2% with an average of 8.1 new users they are joining each and every second. Therefore, at each and every second of our time, 8.1 new users they are joining in the social media. Also, you could provide for Facebook 3.28 billion monthly active users are there in social media platform of Facebook. And when we see about YouTube, 2.5 billion monthly active users are there in the social media platform YouTube. Also, if you see certain platforms like Twitter, Pinterest, so they have 556 and 445 million monthly active users respectively. Anyhow, so according to this statistics, it says more and more people are interested in social media. When you see the history, what is behind this social media, you could see social media has come a long way from simple text-based communications. So initially, we had the text-based communication systems to immersive virtual experiences. And later, now everything is powered by AI. And in the year 1970s, lot of platforms have evolved to shape how we connect, share, work and even shop. Hence, from early innovations like BBS, bulletin board systems, and Usenet to giants like Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, social media has transformed digital interaction and culture, and it plays a vital role in the social media for each and every user. Actually, the timeline traces the evolution of social media across different milestones, technological shifts, and the rise of new platforms. And when we study about this, you should know what do you mean by a social network graph. And you should have a clear idea about it. What is it? A social network graph. It is represented using the labeled property graph model, which captures both structure and semantics of social systems. And here, in the social network graph, you have lot of nodes which are used to represent the entities, and you have the edges which represent the relationships or interactions between those entities. And this nodes represents user, post, comments or groups. And each and every user is having some relationship or interaction among those entities, such as follows, replies, likes or group membership in social network. And here labels are used to distinguish the node and edge types. Example, user, post, follows, likes. And in addition to this, both nodes as well as edges, some properties can be attached, such as timestamps, content or widths. And these properties support for the deeper analysis of the social network graph. Hence, when you are going to study about the social network graph, so you should have the idea of nodes as well as edges. And this picture gives some example for a simple social network. And this is having lot of nodes and they are interconnected. And these interconnections you are calling as links or somehow the relationships. Therefore, in social network, each and every node, they are connected with lot of relationships. You could see in this picture, you have the user. This user joins with this group. Also, you have one more user. He is also joins with these groups, and whenever this user likes the post, he can write and he can comment. Therefore, for each and every user who are connected in the social network, they have some kind of relationship, like joining in the particular network, following in the particular network. They can like, they can comment on, they can write comment, they can post. And there are a lot of social networks available, like personal networks, professional networks, interest-based networks, social media networks, collaborative networks, supportive networks, educational networks, entertainment networks, transaction networks, and hybrid networks. In the case of personal networks, connections among friends and family plays a vital role. You have the connection that is between the friend as well as the family. That is specially for personal network. And if you are going for certain platforms like LinkedIn for career and business connections, so you can say those kind of networks as professional networks. One more network that is called interest-based network, that is completely based on the interest of the user. And here you have lot of communities that are formed around hobbies or topics or some kind of causes. Based on that, you are going to say that as an interest-based networks. And there are some platforms for sharing the content and engaging with a broad audience. And such kind of network, so you are calling as social media networks. If you have a group working together on projects or for some knowledge sharing, some kind of ideas to get shared, for that we can make use of collaborative networks. Hence, these collaborative networks, they are groups and they are working together for a specified sharing. And there are communities which are providing some kind of emotional or practical support. And those kind of networks, you are calling that as an support networks. In educational networks, you have some platforms for learning. And if you want to get some knowledge in the education side, as well as if you are going to form an academic collaboration, you could name that as an educational networks. And in entertainment networks, it's completely focused on some kind of creative content, right? Like games, as well as videos. And if you are going for facilitating some commerce like marketplaces, completely for transaction, those kind of network, you are calling that as an transactional networks. And one more network is available, that is called hybrid network. This network combines multiple purposes. You could say social or professional, or if you want to share some content, those can be combined, and you can say that as an hybrid networks. And these are the different types of social networks. And we'll see how it works, how social network works. These social networks operate initially by connecting individuals through some profiles. These profiles sharing some content and engaging in real-time communication. And initially, so you have to create the profile. As the first step, so you are going to create the profile, and the users, if they want to share certain details like their name, photo, and their area of interest, you can share it through the profile creation. And after this profile creation, if the particular user wants to share any content or data, they can share their updates, their photos, their videos, and the messages if they want to interact with others. And after sharing this, they can connect with the people. They have users, and they can add their friends and follow them and join with them for a particular group according to the shared interest what they have. And in real-time communication, the users can chat by giving lot of messages, and they can interact instantly in the people who are worldwide, and thus it works. And next, in social network, there is a term called community detection, and this is enabling the researchers to identify the clusters or the groups of their densely connected individuals within a larger network. And these communities, they share their common characteristics, interest, and making them valuable for understanding social dynamics, information diffusion, and online behavior. And in the community detection, you have a significance of revealing the hidden patterns and the relationships within the complex networks. Also, they can identify the influential individuals within the network. And one more significance of this community detection is they can understand the information, and the ideas can be spread out, and they can inform the targeted marketing strategies or the online engagement initiatives. And for this community detection, that can be specifically classified under different algorithms called modularity based algorithms, hierarchical clustering methods, random walk based methods, and special clustering methods. In modularity based methods, these methods optimize the modularity which is the measure of strength of division of a network into different modules. And in the case of hierarchical clustering methods, these algorithms build a hierarchy of communities by merging the existing communities or splitting the existing communities. And we have random walk-based method, and these algorithms used to identify the specific communities based on the probability of the visiting nodes within the specified community. And in the case of spectral clustering method, here you are using eigenvectors, and that can be represented in terms of matrix format to identify the communities. An example for the community detection algorithms are low vein algorithm, info map algorithm, walk trap algorithm. And how you are going to choose a right algorithm? So you are going to choose the right algorithm using several factors, including the size of the community, structure of the network, and the level of the granularity. Sometimes according to the computational resources. And one example for this hierarchical approach algorithm is Girvan-Newman algorithm. And here initially we are going to calculate the betweenness centrality for all the edges which are connected in the graph, and you are going to remove the edge with the highest betweenness. And after removing the edges, so once again you are going to recompute the betweenness centrality between all the edges, and you are going to repeat this again, so that you are getting the particular specific community. And there are a lot of tools available like SPSS, number analytics, or Python. And when we see in the number analytics, this is an AI powered statistical software that automates statistical model selection, result interpretation, and report documentation. Also Python, we can make use of it. It's a high level general purpose programming languages which is known for its simplicity and readability. And you should know about the advantages of using this social network. You can get the global connectivity, you can get instant communication if you want to share the updates, experiences, and if you have any content for enhancing your interactions, we can do it. Also, in professional networking and career development, we can make use of social networks. Next, when we see in education and knowledge sharing, the users can join as groups and participate in different discussions, and they can learn new skills, even coding or professional development. You can go for social network. And there are some more advantages like social and emotional benefits. And you have the access to information and news. And you can build the community by joining with your interest groups. You have lot of advantages, in spite you have disadvantages also. You have mental health impacts, spread of misinformation, and productivity and time management. When we see the mental health impacts, if you are going to use excessively or if you are going to spend the excessive time in multimedia, that can give anxiety, depression and stress. And that may lead to feelings of inadequacy sometimes. Next, if you have any misinformation that can be spread very rapidly through social networks. False information can be spread very rapidly, like rumors. And in productivity, when you see in the productivity, users spend over 2 hours daily, more hours, so that they can detract from their own work or study for the students, or else if they have some personal development, that cannot be concentrated when we are spending more and more time in the social networks. If you see the future of social networks, lot of artificial intelligence integrations can be achieved through social media platforms that incorporate to enhance more and more user experiences, automate content moderation and optimize the engagement through personalized recommendation. And if you see in blockchain technology, when new types of social media will emerge, this allows users to keep their data secure and decentralized, which offers more and more private and controlled social experience for each and every user will be there. And if you see certain platforms like NoPlace, 1010, Biril, Threads, they are expected to gain traction, catering to specific age groups and their interest. And marketers also shift their budgets towards video storytelling and interactive content, leveraging platforms like YouTube and Instagram for dynamic engagement. Finally, social network provides a complete social structure for all the people nowadays, and it's having lot of advantages as well as disadvantages. Thank you.